Azimio, one Kenya party presidential aspirant and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, says the grand coalition formed by himself and the late former President Kibaki after the historic handshake in 2008 was the best government that Kenya's ever had since independence. As he reflects on the good times he had with the late president as premier, Raila acknowledges that Kibaki gave him time and space to perform his duties as a prime minister in the interests of national development and peaceful coexistence. Safi Godana Mamo has more.
Raila Odinga says the historic handshake between him and the late President Kibaki restored the spirit of harambee among Kenyans in April 2008 after the post-election violence of 2007 due to the contested poll outcomes.
As you know, there were negotiations which were brokered by the team led by the late Kofi Annan and President Benjamin Mkapa and Madame Gracia Machel. We had set up a team, 4 from my side and 4 from Kibaki's side, which had negotiated until towards the end there were stalemates over provisions of the accord.
Raila recalls how himself and Kibaki were sat down by Kofi Annan team to have a candid conversation on the political crisis in the country and quest for a long-lasting solution to end the ugly violence between political and ethnic groups.
I then said I'm ready to let President Kibaki go and do another final term and work together. Then President Kibaki then also agreed that we could work together in that final term.
The former Prime Minister says the handshake between him and President Kibaki saved Kenya from violently tearing apart. And so, for peace and the greater good of the country, the duo shook hands in public as a sign of a fresh start. And the Grand Coalition government was born in February 2008.
It's therefore necessary for us to go beyond personal interests and think about the country. And that's really what drove me to agree that we should make a compromise. We shook hands first there together with them before we did it in the public. And we agreed that we would work together to ensure that the grand coalition that we are going to form would deliver to the people of Kenya.
Following the mutual agreement to end the political stalemate, Kibaki and Raila then announced their cabinet, and Raila's role was to basically coordinate and supervise the functions of the government as the chair of the cabinet ministers.
President Kibaki allowed me time and space to do exactly that. So I know that most Kenyans agree that it was the best government that Kenya has ever had since independence.
As the country continues to mourn the late third President Kibaki, Raila Odinga says he was fortunate enough to have worked very closely with President Kibaki, whom he describes as a selfless head of state who always had the people's priority at heart. Safi Godana Mamo, Citizen TV.